Learning objectives. After completing this module, learners will be able to explain the Olympic story, discuss overlapping social differences, explain cross-cutting social differences, describe social divisions, describe the three factors decide the outcome of politics of social divisions. A case study, Mexico Olympics. Martin Luther King started a movement called Civil Rights Movement in the USA from 1954 to 1968 to abolish legal racial discrimination against the African Americans. They used a non-violent approach and civil disobedience as a method against discrimination. Another movement, which started in 1966 and lasted till 1975, was called the Black Power movement. It was a militant movement that advocated the use of violence to end racism in USA. Therefore, Story of Mexico Olympics is an important landmark in the history of the civil rights movement in the United States. Story of Mexico Olympics. In 1968, Olympics held at Mexico. Two African American athletes, Tommie Smith and John Carlos, won the gold and bronze medal respectively in the 200-meter race. But at the time of prize distribution ceremony, both of them wore no shoes and stood in their black socks with raised black gloved, clenched fists in order to represent black poverty and racial discrimination against blacks in USA. The athlete from Australia, Peter Norman, who won the silver medal, wore a human rights badge to declare his support to the two Americans. As a result, the Olympic Committee took back their medals from them for making a political statement and thus violating the Olympic spirit. Social difference and division. Social differences. Social differences arise on the basis of following reasons. The first reason is based on accident of birth. We don't choose to belong to one community. The second reason is based on physical abilities or disabilities, such as there are discrimination based on gender. They are tall or short, have different kinds of complexion, or have different physical abilities and disabilities. All social differences are not based on accident of birth. Some differences are based on choices. For example, some people are atheists. They do not believe in God or any religion. Some people choose to follow a religion other than one in which they were born into. Overlapping differences. The overlapping social difference is a state when a particular social difference becomes more powerful than the other, as a result of which people may feel a strong bond to one group and isolated towards other, which results in disintegration of the country. There are instances when people perceive themselves to be belonging to a particular community, race, or language that creates a difference between them and others in the society, leading to an economic difference. Range of outcomes and three determinants. Range of outcomes. Case of Northern Ireland. The population of Northern Ireland is divided into two major sectors of Christianity, where 53% of the people are Protestants, while 44% are Roman Catholics. The Catholics were representatives of nationalist parties who demanded the unification of Northern Ireland with the Republic of Ireland, a predominantly Catholic country. The Protestants wanted to remain with the UK, which was already a Protestant-dominated society. Hundreds of militants, civilians and security forces were killed in the fight between Unionists and Nationalists. Finally, in 1998, a peace treaty was signed between the UK government and the Nationalists, after which the latter suspended their armed struggle. Whereas, in Yugoslavia, political competition along religious and ethnic lines led to the disintegration of Yugoslavia into 7 independent countries. 3 determinants. The factors that determine the outcome of politics of social divisions are people's perceptions. If the people see their identities in singular and exclusive terms, then it will lead to social division and violence. Raising the demands by political leaders. The outcome of policies also depends on how political leaders raise the demands of any community. Reaction of government. The outcome of politics of social division also depend on reaction of government on demands of different groups. Summary. Let us summarize what we have learned. Racial discrimination refers to the ideology that discriminates people on the basis of their skin color. The whites consider themselves superior than the blacks. Social divisions are produced when one kind of social difference becomes more important than the other and people start feeling that they belong to different communities. Overlapping social differences create possibilities of deep social divisions and tensions. People feel strongly connected to one group and alienated towards the other. Cross-cutting social differences are easier to accommodate as each person is a part of more than one social group and does not strongly identify with the members of only one group. Politics of social divisions competition among various political parties on the basis of some existing social division can transform these social divisions into political divisions and would further lead to conflicts, violence, or even disintegration of the nation. Social divisions affect voting in most of the countries. People from one community tend to prefer some party more than the others. 3 factors decide the outcome of politics of social divisions. It depends on how people perceive their identities. If people see that their identities are multiple and are complementary with the national identity, then it becomes easy to accommodate.